Hey guys, so I'm going to show you a little trick when they add a day and you don't, or you do have enough, but you don't want to run in a situation where something happens and you don't have enough crepe hair. So here is I'm not quite sure if you can see it. It's curly crepe hair for a beard. I probably have enough for the actor tomorrow, but I want to prep some just in case we do run out. So because I don't have any more of the actual curly product hair, I am going to take two colors of my yak hair, one that has, a brown tinge to it with a little hue of red, and then where's the end here? And then we have a red strawberry color. So normally it would come already kinked and curled for a beard, but because I want to not get stuck tomorrow, I'm going to take just a tiny little bit of the red, and what size is that? And then I'm going to take a tiny bit of the brown, okay? And because I don't have a hackle, I am going to just mix the two up like this, okay? And then the trick too, instead of doing a hackle and you pull it off and you put it on, because if not everybody has one, this is going to be an easier trick. So I have them mixed together, the two colors, and then I am going to, you just take the ends and you pull apart and you lay them in, and do this as many times as you need to do to get the desired movement that you want within the red and the brown. So you want to make sure that all of the colors are blended together to make it look real and intentional. Okay. So just keep doing that. And then if you get any loose bits, you just pull them off, and you can always use those for something else if you want to. Okay, I'm going to continue doing this until I have its desired texture and color definition that I want, and I will be back to show you the next step. So I'm back. I have gotten the color to the consistency that I want. So the next step here is to just kind of push them together, and then I'm going to take, I don't know if you can see that, it's the Quo little clear elastics. You can probably get them off of Amazon, but I'm trying my hardest not to do that. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so I'm going to take a rubber band. Because I want to explain to you why I'm doing this. I need to, this is straight yak hair. It's been straightened, and I need to bring it back to its original state, which is, that kinky, curly texture. So I'm going to take my elastic just around the top. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah, I can. Okay, and I'm going to tighten it on the one end. Okay, if I had all of the amazing tools, there's like this machine, it's out of wood, and it has a little strap, two little dowels on each side, and you have a rope, and you would wrap it around, and then I would create a twisting motion and bring it back really, really tight on that rope. But because I don't have all those fancy gadgets, I'm going to do a cheat that I thought of myself. It does work. So So yeah, so I'm going to share it with you. Anyway, so I got it here. Okay, and then I'm just going to pin it to through the elastic to my paper towel. Okay, because I want to braid this as tight as I can braid it. And then we will, we're actually going to wet it. Okay, so gently just separate it. You can see here into 3 sections. Okay, and then I am just going to braid it one over the other and try and get it as tight and small as you can, because the whole purpose of doing this is creating and bringing back a little bit of a kink into it, so that when we lay in the beard, it has that texture that we want, and because we are in continuity, and if you need extras, you have it, and you don't want ever to be stuck on set. So this may be a step that I'm doing right now that will never be used. But to be successful in the industry, we always have to think. See how small it's getting? We always have to think ahead of time. Okay, so I'm going to continue braiding this, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here is the braid. You can see kind of, maybe better see on the white, how tight it is. So now I am going to take my other elastic, and I'm going to secure the braid at the bottom. You don't have to do it too tight. I probably don't even need it with this small little piece, but I just want to avoid any of the hair, the braid coming out. Okay, so we've got the braid here. Let me just take it off the pin. Okay, so you see it's done. And when you get crepe hair, it's all twisted up and there's a rope in the middle and you have to pull it to open it up. So I'm just kind of trying to bring it back to its original state, so that we have something to work with. Okay, so now I am going to take my water bottle, and I am going to wet it so that when it dries naturally, or in my situation, I'm going to have to use a blow dryer because we are on a time crunch and I need to go through all of the processes before tomorrow morning call time. Okay, so just take a water bottle and spray it. Make sure it's good and wet. Push it in. Okay. And I'm just going to turn it around and just kind of get both sides. Okay, like I said, normally I would let this dry naturally. Like that. So I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit and turn on my crimper and my steamer so we can continue to work. Stand by. So I've got everything turned on. I had to go up and get my blow dryer because I totally forgot about that. I'm going to take the hair off of, or the braid off of this wet towel because we don't want to keep it moist or damp. We want to dry it. Okay. So I'm going to take my blow dryer and I'm going to dry it so it's completely dry. Like I said, you can leave it overnight and let it dry on its own, or put it on a heat rag so that the air blows on it and dry it quicker. But anyways, I'm going to use a blow dryer right now, and stay tuned. I'll be right back because I can't talk through it because it's loud. Okay, so that, I'm going to put this away. This should be dry by now. It took me probably a good 10 minutes just because I want to make sure it's completely dry. I did a towel test and no moisture came on my towel, so I think I'm pretty good. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your crimper, a really tight one, and I am just going to start just below the elastic and make my way down all the way. We're going to do this process twice. I just do it with the braid in, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to crimp it again. Okay, make sure you don't get the elastic because it will melt it into the hair. Okay, so we're just going to pull these off. Okay, one end, two end. And once again, this process is on, I'm only making this cheat happen because we, I don't want to, we've run out of hair and I don't want to be stuck with just being able to use this little bit tomorrow. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take it apart, pull it out of the braid, and just gently pull it out because you don't want to undo everything that you've just done. So I'm going to take out this braid and I will be right back with the rest of the demonstration. Okay, that took a bit of time, but as you can see, I'm going to put this backdrop on it. See how now it has a nice beautiful kink in it, and prior to that it was completely straight. Okay, so we wanted to get it to this level so that I can just run the crimper through it one more time just to add some more texture to it. And then I'm going to, let me turn that back on. Excuse me. I'm going to put the steamer to it just to kind of give it that gritty texture that we want. We don't want it to look like a braided hair. We want it to, why is that not going on? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so like you said, just so you can see, it does have that nice kink to it again. Brought it back, and then I'm just gonna hold on to the ends, and I'm just gonna bring a kink back to it. And this kink is a different type of kink. It kind of gives it that this texture here, curly texture. And you don't necessarily, depending on the actor, it just is required for this actor to have a curly beard. Otherwise, we could have just laid the straight yak hair in and built it up that way. But this character needed to have some curls, a curly beard. Okay. All right, so I'm going to finish this process and I will be back with you again. Okay, so I forgot to mention to you, when you are doing this process, you have to make sure it's either human hair or yak hair. It cannot be synthetic or you will burn the hair, and this process and this technique won't work. Okay, so I got it to the level of crimpiness that I want. It's separated, so we want to bring it back to, you know, like this. So again, you just, I'm just going to turn this off because I don't want to burn myself. We're going to do that same process. So we put it together and we're just going to pull it apart and bring it back together, just so that we can bring it back to one and not in 3 separate braids. And you do this as much as you need to do to bring it back to that consistency. Okay. And my phone's going off. Someone's trying to get a hold of me. Anyways, okay, so I'm there. I feel like I've got it to where I want it to be. I'm gonna just show you quickly on the Kleenex. Oh, it's sticking to me. So you see how it's got that texture to it. It's now crimpy and curly. Oh, there's just one piece. I want to bring that back in. Okay, all right. So just tighten it up. Okay, and just keep all of these little pieces, because you never know if you just need to, you know, cut it on an angle and you have to just fill in some spots there. Okay. All right, and then I am holding it from the top, and then I'm just gonna take my steamer and just gonna give it a quick little steam, just to kind of push it up and shorten it a little bit. Okay. And just be careful, you don't want to have it get a steam burn on your hand. Okay. All right, and you will do this. You'll see where the texture and the consistency that you want it to be. I'm going to continue doing this process and I will be right back. Okay, one last little dose. If you want, you can, you know, lay it on the table and do it this way if you're afraid that you're going to get a steam burn. We don't want that. Okay, all right, done. So I'm going to shut this off. Okay, and I'm just going to show you on the white. It shrunk quite a bit. So I got it to that nice curly texture that I want. And then, so tomorrow, what you will do, I'm gonna leave it in a whole piece, and then tomorrow, on set, if I do need it, I am going, pardon me, to cut it on an angle, and lay it into the spots that I need it, and then you go in and you cut it underneath. And when you've got everything in place where you want it to be, you take, because it's real hair, and it originally had a kink into it, it will go back to its original form. You just take your water bottle and you give it, you know, I'm just going to do the ends, a quick little spritz, and then you just kind of push it up onto the face, you know, like this. and that'll give it that finished look. Let me see. It'll kind of, it'll lay on to where it wants to be, where you need it to be, pardon me, and you just kind of push it in, and that natural curl will come back. Okay, so I'll go through the steps one quickly. Just a quick recap. We took the straight yak hair, and I made two sections of the colors that would match the hair that we already had. I put it together with a small elastic. I gave it a braid. We wet it. Typically, you would leave it to dry all night, but because I'm on a time crunch, I don't have that time. So I braided it. I blow dried it. Did a towel test to make sure that the moisture was completely out. I took my, I don't know if you can see how, but they're close teeth here. There, it's a better angle there. My crimper, and I put it really high, and I crimped it all with the braid in. Then we took the time to pull out the braid. We crimped it again, and then we did that process again. If I had a hackle, I would be able to do it that way, because I don't have one. The pull apart, layer it, pull apart, layer it. This, this effect will bring it back to one. And then I took the steamer, and I just wanted to shorten it just to give it that really, textured curl. And then I'm leaving it till tomorrow. So I'm going to wrap it in my Kleenex, start paper towel, we'll pin it, and then it's ready for tomorrow if you need to use it. And we, once again, want to get back to this curly texture that our actor was wearing. I hope that you found that helpful. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments, and I will get a response back to you. And hopefully you enjoyed my video. And if not, please tell me what you would like to see and hear, and any recommendations. Positive criticism is always good. And please remember to follow. Hope you enjoyed.